Alrighty, welcome to Saturday morning breakfast. We're going to make my new invention, 4 meat and cheese eggs. So we start with sausage, and then we're going to add, and you probably guessed it, bacon. So we got sausage, we're going to add bacon, and once the sausage and bacon is pretty well cooked to where I want it, we will be adding some other ones, so stay tuned. So remember, we got meat lovers pizza. Well, here is going to be meat lovers breakfast. Going to be a lot of protein in here. Remember, protein, healthy for the muscles, healthy for the brain. Definitely need protein. All right, so always cook on low with just my standard burner. And I did put a little bacon grease in there beforehand, just so things wouldn't stick to it. Now, if you watched my live from the other day, the pan was pretty dirty, and I cleaned it with my usual salt and olive oil. And then we'll add to the mix here in a little bit some all beef hot dogs, but there's still more. So once this gets cooked up, I'll pull it out of the pan and tear it up in smaller pieces while I cook the other meats, so they'll get all mixed up throughout the eggs. So we are going to be putting a lot of eggs together, and I'll probably pre-mix them in a bowl just to make it easier. And there's the eggs that we'll be mixing up to put in once all the meat gets cooked. This is your best form of protein by far, and I'll add a little butter into the bacon grease in that for flavor. So it's getting where the other meats are just about done. Okay, so I pulled off the bacon and sausage. I'll now add in the hot dogs. Those won't take long. And now to chop up some ham. So now we're gonna, I didn't mean to do that. Stir the hot dogs around and kind of get them a little browned. We don't have to do a lot of cooking on here because, well, hot dogs are already pre-cooked. And now we will add the ham slices. So we have a lot of pork products, which is really good for breakfast. Now we've added the ham and put the bacon and the sausage back into it. Man, it smells so good. Too bad we don't have smell-o-vision. So lots of meat here. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to whip up the eggs in a few minutes here and add them to the mix. But first I'm going to drop some butter in here. And the butter is really kind of used for more flavor. And I'm very generous with it. Alright. Never going to have too much butter. So I'll melt that in there and I'll whip up the eggs. So I'll just whip up the eggs here. Now you can add some milk into this. My dad used to do that, and it would help, I don't know, kind of like stretch it in there, but we're going to be drinking milk, so I don't feel the need to add any milk to it. I suppose heavy cream would be pretty cool. I might have to try that sometime. So a couple more stirs of the meat, and then at the end we'll add some cheese. So simple recipes that don't take long to mix up. But I do cook on low because you want to do it a nice slow cook to get all that flavor mixed up in there. So we're just about ready. I just want to get the rest of that butter melted. The meats are all cooked. This will probably be, well, I have 3 plates and I'll probably have about 70, easily 70 grams once you put the milk, glass of milk per breakfast. So a little overkill, but hey, it's a great way to start your day. All right, so let's add the eggs. You just pour them in there. Now that's, I think, 15 eggs that I did. And then we'll add some salt and pepper to it and then start mixing it up. All right, so salt and pepper's in there, so now we just kind of keep scraping the bottom. And you're doing that to kind of keep the eggs from burning to it. You're going to get some stuff that's going to burn to it. There's just no way around it. I'm not going to cook it on a simmer burner. That would just take too long, but I do have this standard burner on low. And then at the very end, we'll melt some cheese over it. And it'll be good. And you just keep stirring it up and you start seeing more and more of the eggs getting cooked. And it's going to absorb a lot of that bacon grease and butter, which is flavor. And it's all good stuff. I already have put salt and pepper when I mix the eggs. I put some on the top of it. And that'll be it. If people want more, they can just add it once it gets served. Because you don't want to, once you oversalt something, it's done. It's like you're not going to unsalt it. So you want to make sure that you don't put too much salt. Everybody's taste is different. Understand salt is very important to you. And I use the, get the right one. I like to use the Himalayan pink salt because it has magnesium and manganese and other minerals that are very important to your body. So you can get it through. It's just better than just regular salt, which is just sodium chloride. This also has potassium in it, manganese, and magnesium. And so it is healthier for you. So you're always... I don't know if you can hear that, but it's one of those videos where family decided to take a picture next to a bison. That's dumb to do. They are basically about 2,000 pounds of, you better get out of my way. And the little girl ended up getting hurt because the parents did something extremely stupid. You know, if you try to pet the bear or bison or mountain lion, bad things are going to happen to you. There's just no other way around it. So once this gets cooked far enough long to where it's just about done, I will add the cheese to it. So a lot of times I'm just cooking bacon and then the eggs separately, or sausage and the eggs separately. But it's Saturday and we decided to go out. You can add onions to this. My preference is no onions in my eggs, but other people do. Wouldn't miss this, but I said let's just make it neat. I like onions in other things, like stews and sandwiches and stuff like that. For some reason, I'm just not a fan of the eggs, unless they're like the purple onions, which are a little bit, I think, sweeter. But your yellow and white onions, I don't care to put in the eggs. On pizza, they're really good though. And of course, once the garden gets up, green peppers and jalapenos will be added to this mix. So you see it's kind of coming along. So when people say, man, I'm not getting any gains, I'm at a plateau, I'm not getting the performance out of there, the first thing I ask them is, well, how's your rest? And a lot of times that's one of the issues. Well, I get about 4 hours of sleep. Well, that's not enough sleep for your body to repair all that damage it did to the muscles. That's how you get stronger. You literally tear muscles. You have them rebuild. And the next thing is I asked about nutrition. If you're eating junk food, you're not going to get results. If you're not eating breakfast, coffee is not breakfast. Coffee and a donut is not a breakfast. If you're not eating a very hearty, healthy breakfast, you're not going to get the results. If you're not following that up with a lunch and a dinner and possibly a small, clean meal in between or two, you're not going to get the results. All right? You can do all the exercise in the world, but if you're not fueling it correctly, then you're going to be disappointed. So remember, to get stronger, to get leaner, to get toner, to get healthier, it's rest, nutrition, exercise, and then have fun. Sometimes we get a little silly in the gym because we want to have fun. It's not just pumping weights and, having a hoodie on and listening to your own music and ignoring everybody. That's what you want to do. That's fine. That's not how I work out. All right. I want to have a little fun in there. I want to mix it up. But I also know if I don't get the nutrition, if I don't at least get 6-7 hours of rest a night, if I eat garbage food, it's garbage in, garbage out. You can't out-exercise a poor diet. So we are very close to where we want to be in the cooking of the eggs. I just want to give it one more turn over. Get it a little bit more cooked before I add the cheese. Because usually once I add the cheese, I don't stir it. Just want the cheese on top. So we're very close. Next one will have the cheese sprinkled on top. We'll get a view of that. All right, let's sprinkle the hearty distribution of mild cheddar cheese. You can use other cheeses too. Gouda is good to use. Whatever your favorite cheese is. Definitely will add flavor and more protein to everything there. So we're just going to let that simmer in there for a few minutes. Get the cheese on top to start melting a bit. And then we'll serve it out. So this is eating good in the neighborhood. So I'm covering it for a few minutes, probably just about 2 minutes. That'll help reflect the heat back down on the cheese and definitely get it melted there on the top. And the next thing is serving it into the plates. Alrighty, so cheese pretty well melted. So let's get it serviced into the plates and get ready to eat. And breakfast is served. So everybody have a wonderful weekend. And remember, as always, rest, nutrition, proper exercise, and have fun, and just get in the gym and lift.